Hi, I'm James from GameFront, and welcome to Hot Off the Press Start, the weekly show that rounds up all the latest gaming news and delivers it quicker than my bank account emptying during the Black Friday sale. Fortnite could be getting mod support in the near future. Now, this is according to prominent Fortnite leaker Lucas 7 Yoshi, who claims that he's 100% confident that Epic Games will be adding the feature in the near future. Now, Lucas is a prominent data miner and leaker within the Fortnite community, so while we always suggest taking such things worth a grain of salt or a pinch of salt, it does lend itself some credence to the claims. What isn't clear is just what format this mod support will take place in, and just how moddable the game will be. It would be both surprising and yet almost expected to see Fortnite gain mod support. Epic Games has often championed mods and user-generated content in the past, although given the game has a heavy reliance on its marketplace to generate revenue, how these two features are going to interact is certainly going to be interesting should the rumor be true. Black Mesa, a project to remake the original Half-Life in a modern version of Valve's Source engine, has finally wrapped development after a storied 16-year history. Pop the champagne and pour me a glass. The game started out its life as a mod, which recreated the entire Half-Life game inside the Half-Life 2 engine, with exception of the final Zen levels. But, hold please. After several years, Valve actually gave a green light to the project so it could become a standalone game. Then the Zen levels were eventually added in and actually expanded upon before the final definitive released edition. Definitive edition is what it's called. It released earlier this week. The definitive edition brings the quality of some of the older maps of Black Mesa, the older maps, the older models, the older textures, up to date, which is understandable given that the project's been in development for quite a long time. But we are still talking about a remaster of a game that hadn't been released yet. There have also been changes made to enemy placements and balance, which gives the game a much more polished feel. We've been reporting on Black Mesa for almost as long as GameFront and then FileFront, as long as we've even been around. It really is a red letter day for the project. Although it's not quite the end, the developers, Crowbar Collective, has promised to release a few patches for known issues. And I imagine they won't be sitting around doing nothing for too long, considering now we're all waiting for the Half-Life 2 remaster. There's bad news for those of you looking forward to diving into the bustling metropolis of London with friends in Watch Dogs Legion, as Ubisoft has announced that the game's promised multiplayer mode has now been delayed until next year. The good news is that the delay is for a good reason. Focus will instead be given to fixing bugs and technical glitches within the game, with patch 2.2 coming this week. Even better, Ubisoft is promising more technical improvements to performance, which will come out in December, meaning increased performance on high-end GPUs. Now, I'm not holding my breath, because even the performance on the RTX 3080 is pretty dire. But if they can smooth some of these things out, it'll make the multiplayer worth the wait. Now, speaking of multiplayer games, Red Dead Online, the multiplayer component of Red Dead Redemption 2, is being released as a standalone game next week. Now, Red Dead Online won't be free to play. Instead, it's going to be priced at just $4.99, which is a pretty damn good deal. It's reasonable given the experience that you're going to get from the Red Dead Online world. You'll also be able to upgrade to Red Dead Redemption 2's single-player campaign later down the road if you wish to, at a cut-down price. The $4.99 price tag will only be in place until February, though. The cost then will be bumped up to $20, so get it before it's too late. So this could be seen as an effort from Rockstar to boost player numbers in Red Dead Online, which, while very popular, hasn't quite seen the same level of success as GTA Online. There are some updates coming along with the standalone release too, including the new Bounty Hunters expansion that will add a few new fugitives to hunt down and deal with. And finally this week, have you ever noticed how the Brotherhood of Steel has a knack of just appearing out of nowhere in Fallout games? Well, that's exactly what they've done in Fallout 76's latest expansion, Steel Dawn, releasing a week earlier than expected. The new expansion was slated for the 1st of December, but it was dropped unexpectedly early to much delight on Tuesday evening. Now, the reason for this isn't entirely random. It appears that there was some issues with players on the Xbox platform getting the expansion before the actual release date. So, instead of trying to undo the damage and revert that for all of those players, Bethesda just decided to roll with it and release the update for everyone on all platforms. How nice of them! And that's this week's gaming news. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and, click the bell icon to stay notified of all the latest news from GameFront.